We got a month left until Selection Sunday. So a win like one potentially tonight can go a long way. Missouri in those bright gold, Texas A&M in the maroon. And so we are underway. And there's a turnover on the opening possession. Jaden Stone has got it here for the Tigers. He has been, as Pat Bradley was talking about, an X factor in the starting lineup of late. He's played in all 10 league games. He has been extremely efficient, going for more than 15 a night. Trent Pierce wants three, and a very versatile wing missed everything there. So on the other side, this is how Texas A&M counters. There's one of the very potent three-point shooters, Ruben Dominguez. You touched on it. Rashawn Agee, number 12 in the maroon. He is the captain. Leads this team in scoring, going for more than 15 a game in league play. He's trying to smother Sean Phillips Jr. this time. Phillips sticks with it.
And that's Missouri basketball right there. They are going to be intentional every possession about trying to get the ball down low and really attack in the paint.
It's a unique matchup for A&M because they just faced a vicious front court in Florida a few days ago. And it was a lousy loss. This is Hill going downhill.
And how good has he been? I mean, the last 3 games, averaging 17 points. He was dealing with the knee injury early on in the season. He's completely recovered, and you can absolutely tell he's been terrific.
Yeah, especially lately. Very much 100%. A crafty and productive double-figure scorer all season long. This is Pierce, a baseline drive, and the throwdown.
That was all set up by Phillips. I mean, the big fella out of the pick and pop was able to allow Pierce to get that flush on the closeout. Good decision.
So meanwhile, Jakari Lane got into the paint for a moment on this end of the floor. Hill has got it, trying to go to work on Barrett. That's T.O. Barrett, who got a piece of that one. Rylan Griffin with the steal. And so the Aggies keep it on this side. Oh, he dribbled it off his leg. So Missouri to take over in a moment. So Bucky McMillan, in his first year as the head man at Texas A&M, he has guided them to the 17-6 start. That is, when you throw in the 7-3 mark in league play, best start to begin conference play in quite some time for the program.
I love everything about Bucky ball. I mean, the way that they defend, the way they try to speed you up, what they do offensively, like we touched on in the open. I mean, Bucky ball makes you adjust to what they do.
So how is Bucky ball and the Aggies, they're going to deal with some of the size on the interior for Missouri today? Phillips has 2 quick baskets.
And that's where Missouri has the advantage. I mean, Phillips is 7 feet. Agee is about 6'7" or 6'8". They definitely have the size advantage, and so far, 4 points right there for Phillips.
Oh, Agee using that quick step to get by his counterpart.
And it works both ways, Kev. I mean, Phillips is going to have a very difficult time staying in front of Agee on the perimeter. So you can really attack it both ways.
That is the backcourt heat that Missouri is going to face for much of today. Pierce wants it from the wing, and so he connects this time.
And he's been exceptionally well, especially in the last 2. I mean, averaging 10 at his size of 6'10".
Dominguez answers back.
And he's needed that. He's only averaging 6 points in the last 5. Dominguez needs to look for his shot and to be aggressive.
So, King, there is an example of the backcourt heat. And so the Aggies will inbound it underneath the hoop.
And that's where they get you. You always have to be on alert of where the defenders are because they do a good job of being aggressive in passing lanes.
Josh Holloway off the bench. He's into the game, inbounding this one. Oh, T.O. Barrett read that nicely. So it's a 2-on-1. Stone right back to Barrett. And so Missouri, serves it right back there with the turnover and the transition basket.
And let's not get it twisted. I mean, T.O. Barrett is one of the best perimeter defenders in the SEC.
He's got great size, physicality. He's 6'4", and that long reach. Rylan Griffin has been dialed in from distance of late, and he nails his first triple.
And right there, when you drive the lane and you kick on the backside, you automatically create a 2-on-1. And if you have to choose, do not leave Rylan Griffin open.
And he has been their most effective three-point shooter in league play. You see the numbers there, close to 50% from distance. Now, Pat Adams is having a word with Dennis Gates. That's Missouri's fourth-year boss.
Anthony Robinson, the second, checks in for the Tigers.
It puts a pause on something. I'm not quite sure what the conversation might be regarding.
Missouri basketball.
We got a really fine crew. While we have a moment to outline, Pat Adams, Don Daly, Chuck Jones. That's our officiating trio, all NCAA tournament caliber. Anthony Robinson on the floor, longtime starter for the Tigers. He's come off the bench the last few. He and Barrett will play a lot of minutes in the backcourt. Entertaining start to this one. Felt like this was going to be an evenly matched battle coming in. 1-point game a few minutes into this one. Barrett left that one on the rim. A&M could not secure it. Here's Jaden Stone. Misses the three. A&M has hit a couple of triples. Missouri has hit one. Both teams shooting efficiently from the floor to start. Holloway pulls the trigger. Holloway buries a three. So it's a quick 6-0 burst for the Aggies. Okay, they've already hit 3 triples. Pierce just too strong underneath.
And that's a great job right there by Pierce. Not shying away from contact, going immediately to it and finishing.
He's got
great possession.
Yeah, he's got 7 early points for Missouri. Jamie Vincent off the bench. Oh, Vincent! It's 4 early threes for the Aggies.
We talked about it in the open. This is what they do best. They spread the floor and they share the basketball and they knock it down from deep at a high clip.
Griffin gets whistled for the foul. We're even at 13. A fast-paced start to this battle.
Texas A&M making it rain from behind the arc. Start with Ryland Griffin. And Holloway hasn't been playing well, but you better not go under his ball screen, because he'll make you pay. And Vincent, not known for it, but everybody is having a day. A lot of Dallas royalty in this building.
We're happy that you were able to join us here today as well. Add to the allure.
I'm nowhere near those two guys. I had a good career, but nowhere near those two guys.
Yeah, those are 2 really good names. There have been so many quality players that have worn that jersey over the years. You know, especially in between these 2 programs. They've had some really good games. They've been conference foes now for 30 years. Barrett's pass was knocked away. It's a 3-point lead in the early goings favoring A&M. Barrett high off the glass. That was a high degree of difficulty.
That's so high level on the finish. The running hook.
Diba scores it fresh off the bench. Ali Diba responds.
And that's where A&M gets you. I mean, defensively, they speed you up, but offensively, they don't just love to play in the half court. They love to push the pace.
That is the exciting brand of basketball that has been on display inside this building. So they had 19 points at the half, all right, the other day against Florida. Here's A&M with 18 already. A little more than 6 minutes into the game. Stone sets his feet and leaves the 3 short. Several players on the ground fighting for it. Pierce, he has been effective early on. Misses that one, and another opportunity for the Tigers. So they'll get a 3rd look. Barrett blows by Vincent. T.O. Barrett finishes.
This is a Missouri team that is 32nd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. When the shot goes up, you have to look to block out and find bodies. If not, they'll make you pay like what we just saw.
Isaacs, yeah, he's good from this right wing. Missed everything on his first look. Whoa. And he is a capable 3-point shooter. Well, that was your focus all week coming into this one, and that was the advantages that Missouri potentially had on the inside today.
I mean, that's what we saw in the last game against South Carolina. I mean, they just wore them down in the paint. And this is not the biggest front court in A&M, so when you have the size advantage, and even if you look at Missouri's wings at 6'8", 6'9", I mean, these guys are long, they're athletic, and they're physical. So they cause a lot of problems for you.
Yeah, Pierce has been towering over guys in the early minutes. Jacob Cruz cans the three. That's the very effective three-point shooter off the bench for Missouri.
And he's only averaging 5 points in the last 4 games, but he's shooting 75% in the last 2. Hasn't got a lot of attempts up, but elite shooter.
Clements on the other end. Zach Clements. That was a tough one off after the spin. Cruz, Pierce, Stone. That has been the trio of marksmen for Missouri. They all have had their fingerprints on the early minutes of this one. 20 all, 8 minutes in. Robinson, a step back three, lets it fly. So Missouri from distance, 2 out of 7. Isaacs, pocket pass. AG is trying to secure it, and it's a tie-up. Possession arrow favors the Tigers. So they will get it. Mark Mitchell will check back in.
There is a timeout on the floor.
Or Phillips, rather. And so they will have it when we return. 20 all in College Station. So Bucky McMillan, first-year boss from Birmingham. He's got his team a game and a half behind Florida in the SEC standings. Jacob Cruz has now connected twice from distance.
And that's one guy you can't lose. That's arguably the best shooter in the SEC, and you've allowed him to see 2 already. And he can heat up extremely quick.
By the way, how's Missouri going to defend A&M here on this side of the floor, largely?
So when they go zone, pay attention to their trigger, because right there they weren't clean with how they tried to match up. So when the ball gets to the middle, they usually go into man. But if you lose sight of where your man is, you give up open shots like they just gave to Deba.
This has been the challenge here now, breaking the pressure. A&M is shooting 75% from the floor. They've been able to set up that backcourt heat a number of times. A really great start for the Aggies. Mark Mitchell trying to get on the board. That is Missouri's senior captain, who's playing at an all-conference level again this year. Barges in and scores it with the right.
And so far, that is 5 offensive rebounds that have led to 6 second chance points in this first 10 minutes of the ball game.
They have been opportunistic. Missouri, the 2-point edge. Clements wants 3. Zach Clements splashes. 6 threes by 6 different Aggies.
And to add to that, I mean, that's 7 assists. I mean, they are sharing the basketball.
That's been their forte all year. Top 5 in the nation in assists per game. The assist to turnover rate is off the charts. Big to big pass. Mitchell, he is a very skilled distributor. Phillips was fouled before the shot.
Let's go back to this 3 by A&M. We call this the drift pass. Whenever a guy drives baseline, you have to be in the opposite corner. And usually there's a guy on the wing and you hit the one more pass. And right there was Clements knocking it down for Z.
You know, he doesn't take too many threes, but he is one of their more capable outside shooters. So like you said, you get the defense moving, and he's left open. This fifth-year senior from San Antonio.
He's shooting 60 from 3 in the last 3. And everybody on this A&M team is extremely hot early on.
Could not have asked for a better shooting start. Barrett finds the cutter. Phillips there. I think he was looking for Pierce. Phillips stole it away from his teammate. Yeah. Hey, all's well that ends well.
That was definitely Pierce's 2 points.
Pop Isaacs. 4-3.
Goodness gracious.
They can't miss from distance to begin. They're 7 out of 9 from downtown. This is wild. It's 7 different players. We have not seen an Aggie hit more than one. 7 different players have hit those threes.
I mean, as a team, they're right at 37%, almost at 40. So this is one of the better shooting teams in the SEC.
The next time down, if you don't have a 3, if you're an A&M player, just might not take it. Everybody's getting a little bit. Foul there on that drive inside. The latest was Isaacs.
Let's go back, because whenever you go inside out, it typically leads to success. Ja'Cory Lane getting into the lane and able to kick out for the wide open threes. Inside out basketball is the best thing on the offensive side.
Just a couple of textbook offensive possessions there that you've outlined, how they've moved the defense. Consecutive trips down the floor. T.O. Barrett, he has been the breakout sophomore of late for Missouri. 5th straight game that he has started. He's been in double figures the last 4. He is assertive. He is aggressive. He looks for his shot at the rim.
T.O. Barrett has serious game. I mean, you can tell right here, based on this graphic, but in the last 4 games, he's averaging 16. If he could shoot the ball, this is an all-SEC caliber guard.
Yep.
Once he improves his shooting, which no doubt he will do, then he is going to take this team to a different level.
He has come alive. He's got 6 points, couple of boards, couple of assists in the early goings tonight. Only 4 to shoot for the Tigers. Barrett's got it. They have to hoist at the last second there. Recognized there was only 1 second on the timer. And for Phillips, that might be one of his easier offensive boards. He's got it again. Going up. And he shuffled his feet. Yes, he did.
And one thing Phillips is going to have to be aware of is at 7 foot, when he catches the ball down low, he's done this a few times. He brings the ball down, Kev. That allows some of the smaller guards of A&M to be able to try to get deflections, try to get steals, and it makes it a more difficult layup. Keep the ball high and finish high. Use what you have to your advantage, and that's his size.
8 offensive rebounds, and yet only those 6 second chance points. So they're getting the offensive boards. Dominguez lets it go. That was a contested 3. Aggies secures it. Aggies hits Dominguez. Couldn't finish. Entertaining start in College Station. Was Agee out of bounds? It ricocheted off of Phillips. Agee, though,
I don't know who was Pierce throwing the ball to. Like he threw it directly to Agee, but that definitely hit Agee while he was out of bounds. But I don't know what Pierce saw right there.
It's a lucky break here that they're going to have a chance to inbound it underneath the hoop.
That's a very lucky break. That should have been A&M basketball.
On 2 occasions there, even the one, the Agee attempt to throw it off of Phillips.
There is a timeout on the floor.
So Chuck Jones, one of our officials, he's over at the monitor. They're going to take a peek at something from that latest possession. So we will take a timeout as well. 2-point lead for the Aggies. Don't bet on the clock there. We're going to bet on the 3-point shooting.
We've reset the game clock.
That's pretty astounding, by the way.
And the shot clock is 18.
So they're nearly automatic from distance. And I don't know if I have seen quite this level of distribution in a short amount of time. We've only played a little more than 10 minutes. 7 different players with the 3-pointer. So if you haven't made one yet on the other end of the floor, why not take one there? Phillips draws the foul on the way in.
This is how you attack the rim. You love this right here by Phillips, and you also love how Vinton isn't afraid to protect the basket.
Vincent, the sophomore from Austin, challenging Phillips that time. That's his first foul. So we're going to see somebody go to the free throw line for the first time. Phillips at the line. This has been a little bit of his undoing this year. He's a little less than 50% from the free throw line. However, he has been extremely efficient underneath the basket. The senior from Dayton is on pace to tie the perhaps a Missouri record for field goal percentage if he can keep that rate up. Missed them both, though. Barrett chasing Griffin. Dominguez with 6. Kick it over to Holloway. That's off of somebody's foot. Stays here. 4.3 on the shot clock. Now, Dennis Gates is prompting that second row of his bench to tell him whether or not to challenge this.
That's the right call.
I think they would, yeah.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it bounced off of Robinson's foot.
I thought it was Robinson.
Yeah, it looks like it bounced off Robinson's foot.
A&M, 4 to shoot. It's got to be a quick trigger. Dominguez, a deep one. Out of bounds. So Missouri gets the stop.
Dominguez is a guy who honestly has not been shooting it great as of lately. And I think a part of that is when you move up in the scouting report, teams guard you differently. So he has to be able to adjust to how teams have been guarding him. And that comes with Bucky McMillan. He said when we talked to him earlier, he has to do a better job of putting him in positions and situations where he can really excel and try to get him going earlier.
It's 1 out of 4 from distance tonight. Mitchell in the paint. Mitchell going up. Vincent denies him. Shot clock does not reset. It's a violation. Boy, everybody on the Missouri side was asking for a goaltend.
Look at Dennis Gates right now. Dennis Gates is on the floor. And I think he might have a point. That was on its way down. He might have a point. This, to me, is goaltending all day, every day.
Dennis Gates is the 4th-year boss from Chicago, always typically mild-mannered on the sidelines, and you're right on. He was very expressive, trying to get the attention of the officials. Griffin knocks down the 3. Timeout, Missouri. This is a moment here for Gates maybe to let something out. Aggies by 5.
This is what dribble penetration does. When you look at what Pop Isaacs is going, Pop Isaacs drives to the rim. When he drives to the rim, I want you to pay attention to how everybody on Missouri goes to try to contest this, which leaves Rylan Griffin wide open for the tray. Take a look at here. Everybody steps over, and AG just makes the right decision, and Rylan Griffin pays it off.
This team is red hot from distance. They're 8 out of 12 from downtown. You know, King, I think the critical aspect that we've got to point out on that prior non-goaltend sequence, you know, remember the officials, they did not put a whistle on the play. So therefore, it's not eligible to be either challenged or looked at at the next media timeout.
You know, typically in those scenarios, they rule in the favor of the goaltend so that they can be reviewable in the next dead ball.
Right.
But they did it, so now you cannot go back and review it.
It was very close. I would even have to take a look one more time, perhaps. But it looked like it was 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, from my view, like it was kind of dropping a little bit.
That was going down, yeah. Mitchell scores it.
And that's what you have to do. When A&M goes into the zone, Missouri's been extremely intentional about getting the ball to the middle and attacking right there. That is the most vulnerable part of a zoner.
Here's Hill, lines one up. Oh, Hill banks it in. They can't miss from distance. What a start for A&M.
Wow. Just throw it up, and it's probably going in, huh?
That's what I mean. If you haven't gotten a shot up yet on the A&M side, let it rip. Luck's on your side. Although these are good looks that they are getting. Everybody descends on Robinson, so they go to their most skilled big man, Mitchell. Kick it out. Robinson, no. Tapped around. Here comes Griffin. He's pushing. Full head of steam. This is Isaacs. Puts it up. Missed everything. Stone in transition.
Ooh.
Puts it in. Jaden Stone gets it back to a one-score game.
That's such a confident shot. You had the drive if you wanted it, but to stop and pop like that,
Griffin.
high level.
Yeah, he's open again.
Oh,
Griffin,
man.
cash money.
Griffin on the pass from Pop Items.
10 threes in the first half now for A&M.
Their season average is 11 or 12 a game. They're almost at it. We got 4:30 to play. Stone looking for another. That's Pierce. Gets it to go.
And that right there is the 11th offensive rebound in the first half. I mean, as well as A&M has played on the offensive side, the reason why this game isn't, you know, a little bit more separation is because they're allowing Missouri to be assertive on the offensive glass.
Officials ruled that this was Missouri possession. And so Bucky McMillan is signaling he's going to have to, if he wants to challenge, he's got to call the timeout here. And so he was very adamant, getting in the ear of Don Daly. You know, this, how often do we see this scene? Close play, then you see the fingers swirling, and this time. So this time, Bucky McMillan is trusting his guys, trusting the second row behind the bench. They'll take a look at it. We will step aside. A&M by 4.
I said he was like 6'7" or 6'8". He definitely called me. Patrick called me out last time.
Growth spurt right in front of our eyes. He nearly threw that one away and ultimately does. I got, okay, just for clarity's sake, if I could be the timer, I got 6'8", okay, on my chart.
He literally is 6'6". You know, I'm 6'4", but I'm really 6'3". But with shoes on, I'm like 6'4". I round up.
Yeah, there's always like a rule of maybe 2 there. You know, if you're listed at 6 foot, you're probably 5'10".
But I mean,
if you're 5'10", you're probably 5'8".
But AG plays like he's about 6'9", 6'10". He plays a lot bigger than what he is.
Second in the league in rebounding. He is the effervescent captain for this A&M team. That's a foul on Barrett.
Foul number 5, T.O. Barrett. That is his first team foul number 1. There is a timeout on the floor.
So a timeout here with 3:30 to play. It's a one-score game. A&M by 2. This has been a very entertaining and competitive first half. So let's go back to that challenge sequence that we alluded to a few moments ago. You heard Pat Adams deliver.
Reach out to Aggie NIL.
Just to clean this one up here, this was a challenge from Texas A&M. It was originally ruled Missouri basketball. Yeah, A&M challenged it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yep.
You can tell when Robinson's left hand touched it, it changed the trajectory of the basketball. So they got it right. That was a good decision right there by Bucky McMillan and his video coordinator.
So he keeps the timeout. Yep. He also earns the ability to challenge one more play if he so chooses. He gets to keep that one additional challenge, but only one more. Well, these Aggies, they're shooting 67% from the field. Missouri, better than 50% from the floor. So we've seen some great pace and rhythm to the start of this one. The Aggies are smoking hot from distance. They have nailed 10 threes at this point. And astonishingly, seemingly everybody has had a hand in this one. Rylan Griffin is the only Aggie that has hit multiple threes. So that means 7 different Texas A&M players have connected from deep.
Well, they have 14 field goals on 11 assists. I mean, this is the brand of basketball that Bucky McMillan wants to play. Not a lot of isolation, not a lot of one-on-one. Oh, my goodness.
Boy, Phillips with that long reach. Now, he is all of 7 foot.
And you feel it.
Yeah. Driving kick. This is Griffin looking for another. That's Cruz with the strong board. Missouri and Texas A&M. These are a pair of top half of the league teams. A&M a game and a half behind Florida after the Gators win earlier tonight. They would like to remain in the thick of the SEC title race. Missouri, meanwhile, has a major opportunity to win a big game on the road, and one that would vault it a little further up the SEC standings, but also help its tournament resume. Ryland Griffin, shifty, slithery to the rack.
And that's beautiful right there. The patience on the ball screen. He gets in front of the initial defender, puts him in jail, takes his time, and explodes to the rim. Good patience right there by Ryland Griffin.
He leads all Aggie scorers with 11. Matter of fact, leads all scorers in tonight's game. Phillips, another close range touch. Phillips lost it. He might have gotten bailed out either by a whistle or Diva was out of bounds when he touched that one. Yeah, so he was out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely was out of bounds. But if you pay attention, every time on the pick and roll, when Phillips rolls, when they throw the ball up, Texas A&M is collapsing on when he touches the basketball because they're so scared of his ability to score down low. So Phillips has to be strong with the basketball and be able to locate backside, because good things will happen if you can get it to the opposite side of the floor.
He just took a seat. Mitchell is the 5-man now. Barrett with less than a second to shoot. Barrett, it's a prayer.
Basket by T.O. Barrett.
They count it. T.O. Barrett with the shot clock draining.
My man was trying to draw the foul. I don't even know if he was really trying to make that. He was just trying to get the ball up in the air and see if he can get some contact to go to the free throw line, but that's a really tough shot right there.
Oh my goodness. So he has 11. Barrett has been productive. Well, the way that these shots are falling from distance, chuck it up. Vincent, that pass was not on target to Lane. So Missouri's got a chance to pull back in front now.
And that just wasn't a good decision. I mean, typically you only throw out of the post when they send a double. Right there, you had one-on-one. That was Vincent's time to attack, but he tried to make something out of nothing and it caused a turnover.
So you almost want the player to be more selfish.
Yeah, you got to be selfish right there and go get one. And if they send the double, then you kick out and make the right decision. But one-on-one, you got to be selfish and go get a bucket.
Turnovers, they've been fine, so to speak, on either side. Not a real problem for either team. Missouri's given it away 4 times, A&M 6. Barrett stepped through the double, and so there is that pressure. Speaking of a turnover, it leads to one right there.
And up to this point, I will say that Missouri has done a really good job of not being a victim of buckyball and the chaos, and they've done a good job of just taking care of it. But right here was one of the rare turnovers that they've had when it comes to the pressure.
Yeah, they got Barrett that time. High-level first half in A&M. Lane, 4-3.
Missouri has done a really poor job of just over-helping. I mean, on every single drive, they're sending 2 or 3 to the rim and allowing backside open shots time and time again. That's one of the reasons why A&M was able to get so many clean looks tonight.
This is astounding. Lane is the 9th different Aggie to hit a 3. Mitchell is going to the free throw line.
Let's take a look at this, because off of this dual penetration, look at where the backside Missouri defenders are. I mean, they collapse, and you're allowing a guy like Lane to just get a wide open shot. That's not even contested. You know, I know Dennis Gates is going to look back at this film and say, hey, that's unacceptable. We have to contest threes.
This is several. There's been a number of those examples of A&M touching the paint, kicking it out. They've been effective.
And it's the dribble penetration. I mean, usually they do a really good job of running their offense through Agee and then just moving without the basketball and letting Agee get into either a zoom action or just a backdoor cut or something that involves Agee being that point forward. But tonight it's been the dribble penetration, getting by the initial defender, getting into the lane, sinking the defense in, and just kicking out for wide open shots.
Missouri dead last in the league in defending the three-point line. Now, they did a number of encouraging things in the victory against South Carolina a few days ago. However, my my goodness, 11 first-half threes for the Aggies from 9 different players. That's astonishing. Dominguez draws the foul on Robinson.
And to add to your point, Kev, I mean, this Missouri team is 274th in three-point percentage defense. This is what they do. They collapse when there's dribble penetration, and they give up wide open threes. And when you're playing against a team that's as good of a passing team as A&M is, you're going to be in for a long night.
How about Zach Clements flashing his athleticism? Give him one more at the line.
And Clements honestly really could have shot this. But what a move right there. Big fella showing us off the footwork and finishing through contact. That's a really impressive play right there by Zach Clements.
I mean, he's sitting there going, anybody can make a three tonight. I'm going to get the old, the traditional three-point play.
But if you notice with this A&M team, I mean, they're also top 5 in the country in two-point percentage distance. They don't take a lot of mid-range jumpers. Everything that they do is either at the rim or it's a three. There's no middle game. There's no in between. And that's this new day and age style of basketball that a lot of coaches are saying, hey, this leads to the most success. Threes or layups, no mid-ranges.
Bucky McMillan likes to say it's a nice shot diet. You know, we want a nice shot diet. We don't want 18-footer. That was the first time. I never heard that one.
I like that.
I like that one. 18-footer is not a healthy part of a well-balanced shot diet.
To each its own. I'm a firm believer in order to be a really efficient scorer or a hard player to guard, you have to have a middle game.
Sure.
So I'm a believer. I don't think that should be your main shot by any means, but you have to at least be capable of knocking it down.
3 to shoot. Barrett has got to put it up. Lost it. Robinson, I think that was after the horn. They let it play out, and this clock stops. 1.2.
Just a very stagnant possession right there by Missouri. Not a lot of movement. They didn't get the ball side to side. Let's see if he got this off clean, because I really don't think he did.
I think he did.
Oh, no, that was definitely a violation.
So you wonder if that's what McMillan is appealing to say, could we go to the monitor and put a few more seconds on the clock? That could help me get one more basket right here. It's a couple dribbles. I thought I saw the clock maybe at 4.2 when the shot clock hit all zeros.
I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
I didn't mean to. I didn't want you to weigh in, I suppose, if you weren't aware. This is why we... Let's go to the official look right here.
Hey, you were close.
Hey, look, even I was... I was close, though.
You were really close.
4.6, 4.7. Yep.
You were close. Look, this is why you're great at your job. You're able to do multiple things at once, Kevin. You were close. Great job.
This is why I need a hype person like me.
You know I always got you. I always got you.
I know. Well, this is meaningful if you're McMillan, because now all of a sudden, if you put 4.6 on the clock, well. So Don Daly just explained here in the first half.
So because they didn't call a shot clock violation, they have to go based off when the ball went out of bounds instead of when the ball was still in his hand. Had they called the shot clock violation, it would have been about 4.5, 4.6. But because they didn't, they went based off when the ball went out of bounds.
Trent Burns, the 7'5" big man, comes on the floor for the very crucial deflection. Well played. Texas A&M hits 11 three-pointers in the first half. Second most in half in program history. Let's go to the studio. Now and again.
I don't know, and I'm playing in the rec. I like to shoot threes. I mean, it's just not a lot of effort. It's the most efficient shot that requires the least amount of effort. So I might as well just get them up from behind the arc.
This is A&M's forte. Ryland Griffin, who hit 3 of those in the first half, misses the runner at the rim. Texas A&M sticks with it. They're going to get another look. Jakari Lane floats it up. AG working hard for it. Dominguez can't hit it. Third look. AG fouled. A&M relentless.
AG's an absolute dog. I mean, to be an undersized 5 in this league, you would not be able to tell that this man right here is 6'6" because he's an absolute grown man. We talked about how Missouri on the other side was relentless on the offensive glass. Well, AG in his first possession, 2 offensive rebounds. That's what he does for this A&M team.
Extra possessions, trying to build upon the 5-point edge. Look who's open. This is Hill. Missouri clears it, finally. Jaden Stone, ball fake, drive it, finish it. Jaden Stone only had 1 make in the first half. This is someone who was averaging better than 16 points a game in the league play. Now he's got 5. This Texas A&M team, of all these newcomers, all these first-year Aggies, not only are they playing well in their building and remaining in the SEC race, but their lead grows here against Missouri. AG going to the line for 1 more.
This is just a beautiful play right there. I wish we could back it up a little bit more, but AG at that 5 spot, he does a tremendous job of immediately going into a dribble handoff. And let's go back because this is beautiful. Immediately going into the dribble handoff, which leads to the pick and roll, and you empty that side out. I mean, that's just beautiful high-level basketball by 2 veterans.
25-year-old from Chicago, he has thrived in his lone season here, final season of college hoops. Now the pressure. You know it's coming. Barrett absorbing some contact, had a couple of Aggies chasing him. It was Lane and Clements. Even just to slow your opposition down, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Got to expend a lot of time and energy. Look at Lane working tirelessly on this sequence. Keeping Stone in front of him. Stone gets fouled. So Missouri had to work really hard for these attempts at the line.
And I think that's the most underrated part about this A&M defense, is their guards' ability to be able to stay in front of the basketball. I mean, right there, not a good example. But the guards' ability to be able to heat up the ball at the point of attack, whether that be Hill, whether that be Holloway, whether that be Lane. I mean, they are pit bulls. They're about 6 feet. They climb up in you. They make you uncomfortable. And they tend to speed you up.
Back to a 4-point game. AG spins. AG!
Putting you in a spin cycle right there. You love the quick move and the quick decision right there by AG. 1-on-1. If you play Madden, that's where you press circle to get to the spin.
He's hit circle a couple of times on Phillips. That's twice now he's beaten him with that spin. So Jakari Lane was just whistled for his 3rd foul. He's got to sit down.
know, in this half, Kev, I wouldn't be surprised if Missouri tries to get the ball to Mark Mitchell more and let him operate. I think in the first half he was a little quiet, but I would expect him to be extremely aggressive, especially down the stretch.
Lob it up to Phillips, and he's fouled. So Missouri breaks the press. They get a vicious throwdown, and one more coming for Phillips.
Oh, my. This is the luxury when you have a big like Phillips, who is an extreme lob threat. You can throw it up wherever. He makes a good decision right here. When AG steps up, throw the lob, and no matter where you throw it, Phillips is athletic enough to be able to go get the basketball and throw it down.
That was some serious elevation. Griffin drops that pass off for AG, and now AG gets back to the free throw line.
Let's go back one more time, because this is such a great play, and I don't know what Clements was doing. Ended up on the wrong side of a poster, but he had no chance to get that block.
That's low percentage block attempt there.
That was a very low percentage block attempt.
AG, he lives at the free throw line, has now made a couple of trips there recently. So on Saturday, these are the two featured matchups on the men's side. Our SEC Network Hoops coverage. LSU is in Knoxville to take on Tennessee. And then Alabama, who just played its first game without Charles Bediako earlier today, a victory over Ole Miss. They are back in action on Saturday.
I'm just glad we're over this experiment phase of whatever we were doing for about a span of 2 weeks.
Yep, so Tuscaloosa County judge ruled that Bediako would be ineligible the remainder of the season. They do not win that injunction hearing, and that's a travel, by the way, on Griffin. You know, that's a notable situation, especially as it pertains to both of these teams, who both recently played Alabama with Bediako on the roster, and both lost. Now, Missouri lost by a wide margin. Texas A&M, Bucky McMillan, you know, he joked with reporters the other day. He goes, well, Bediako had 5 points in that game. We lost by 3. Can we just take away his point? He was, of course, joking and everything. But that's an important factor right now for both of these teams. Then Auburn is the other team that lost to Alabama with Bediako on the roster.
And I do think that's something the NCAA should consider. I mean, I don't think that game should really hurt them. But when it comes to SEC standings, I mean, they did lose that game. So, especially when in the league this year where it's so close, that could come back and hurt you.
You know, McMillan especially underlined that one. There's been a lot of conversation just surrounding, well, could a selection committee theoretically remove one loss from the team sheet if they so choose for Missouri and Texas A&M? Bucky McMillan is, he's adamant that, hey, what's important to us right now is remaining in this SEC title race. He said, I would have rather just have him be eligible for the rest of the season. Keep that level playing field the rest of the way. Pierce hits the 3.
Pierce has had a really, really good game.
There's a foul. It's on Missouri. Marcus Hill to the free throw line.
And when the ball's in AG's hands, you have to be aware, because A&M does a great job of moving without the ball, and Marcus Hill, great backdoor cut, and AG can deliver it and put his teammates in positions to be able to go to the free throw line.
That's what both of these teams have in common. They have got really skilled passing 5 men, big men. AG, Mitchell. Meanwhile, Marcus Hill at the free throw line. He's a 71% free throw shooter. Look at the assist numbers, by the way. I mean, we have seen some real flow and rhythm on the offensive ends for both teams.
I mean, AG is arguably one of the best big man passers in the SEC. And I would also say that Phillips is an underrated passer as well. Maybe not the same level, but we've seen him make a few good decisions when he's been strong with the basketball.
Anything you need to see more of on the Missouri side right now?
I mean, I would like Mitchell to be more inserted in this ball game. Like you talked about earlier, I would like to see him in that mid-post area be able to go to work and one-on-one, especially right now with no AG on the floor. You're looking at a guy like Clements guarding you, which I don't know if Clements has that mobility to be able to defend side to side. And, ooh, like the knee of Mitchell hit him or the hand. Oh, look, that looked painful.
Comfortable sequence. That's just a clear turnover.
And that was really good intention, really bad execution. I mean, you had what you wanted down low, but if you're Pierce, you have to be able to deliver that. You had the size advantage with Mitchell being guarded by Isaacs.
A&M the upper hand. Clemens for three. He's got 11. One of his better games in league play. Stone trying to beat him off the bounce. And they whistle Clemens for the bump. So we've seen a much tighter whistle in this second half.
And let's take a look at this three. This looked good. He got his feet set, was in rhythm, got it off quickly. And if Clemens is shooting the ball like that, that's a game changer for this A&M team.
Yeah, big time. He hasn't missed. So he's perfect from the field. He's hit both of his threes. He's hit the lone free throw that he's taken as well. You know, Clements only averages about 5 a game, little less than that in league play. So he is well above that today in a critical home game against Missouri. There's Pierce working hard underneath again.
And how good has he been tonight? 14 points, doing his work on the offensive glass, knocking it down from deep. He's been exceptionally well on the offensive side for Missouri.
Yep, 14 and 5. Clements again. No. Rebound to Stone. Jaden Stone, assertive, wild layup, tapped back in. So Mitchell got his hands on it. One possession game once more. Isaacs looking for Agee. He's got Cruz on him. Agee starting to go to work. Agee flip it to Clemens. Missed it. Close range look. And Robinson trying to break away from the pressure.
And you have to finish that right there if you're Clements. That's a good dime right there by Agee, but those are the plays if you're Clements, especially in 1 to 2 possession games, that you have to make.
The foul takes us to a timeout. It's a one-score game in College Station. A&M's 17-6 record. Their 7-3 start in league play. It's definitely one of the more entertaining stories in the league this year. Bucky McMillan takes over a week into April of last year. He's got to flip the entire roster. There's only one guy who comes back from a 23-win team a year ago. It was someone who barely played, so it's an entirely different, not just roster, but rotation. They have evolved and improved as the year has unfolded. And they find themselves near the top of the SEC, more than halfway through the league slate.
You know, I think the style in which they play, it takes time to get adjusted to it. You know, it's not something that comes easy. And in today's day and age, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of transfers and guys playing a bunch of different styles for a bunch of different coaches, this is such a unique and unorthodox style that, of course, at the beginning of the season, they didn't see the levels of success in which you would think that they are having now.
You know, Agee's going to the free throw line. He has been, it's kind of been the straw that has stirred the drink in a lot of ways. He's the veteran. He's the older guy in the locker room. He's got a very outgoing personality. He has definitely been one of the secrets to the formula of that cohesion, of that unity. And he's performed really well, too. He's been their most productive player.
You know, coaches love when they have, you know, coaches on the floor. And Aggie is a coach on the floor. He's the ultimate leader. I mean, if you watch a shoot around, he is the one that you are always hearing. No matter what drill it is, no matter what defensive reps they're going over, he is the most vocal guy on the floor at all times. And he's leading. A lot of times, even without a shirt in a shoot around, he's the leader. Yep. He's that guy. He's the alpha on this team.
He's got 11 now to go along with 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Sprinkling in a little bit of everything today. Mitchell had that one knocked loose. So meanwhile, his counterpart here on the interior, Mark Mitchell, he's only taken 4 shots. You know, it's been difficult for Mark to get some clean opportunities. Cruz lines one up. He gets fouled. Jacob Cruz is going to the free throw line where he will shoot 3. So Aggie, the aforementioned, boy, that one's going to drive a coach crazy. Fouls the three-point shooter. Cruz is very good at the line.
And not a great play by Aggie. And he knew as soon as he left his feet that he couldn't come down. But just not a smart play by your veteran, especially when you put a guy like Cruz on the free throw line. But I like this, the past 2 possessions on offense for Missouri, they have tried to get the ball to Mitchell in that mid-post area because that's where he excels. But when the defense loads up, Mitchell is a good enough passer to be able to make the right decision. So honestly, I would play through Mitchell, get him on that left side, isolated, and see what you can get. See if you can get the defense to overload and allow your best player to make the right decision.
He's a great decision maker. I would underscore that. So with those 3 Cruz free throws, pardon me, they're back within 1.
This isn't a Missouri team that's going to die. They are going to fight, and that's the DNA of this squad. I mean, we talk about it, 3 of their 4 losses in SEC play have literally been 8 points or less. I mean, that's almost 2 possessions in a lot of their games. So you know they're going to be competitive, and that right there is beautiful basketball, but you just have to finish if you're Pop Isaacs.
Missed opportunity. Missouri with a chance to take a lead. They haven't led since about the halfway mark of the first half. A game that has been played close throughout. Mitchell out to an open Barron. Who wants it? New 20 for the Tigers. Phillips barging in. Phillips knocked away from behind. Here comes Aggie. Dominguez, no. Texas A&M trying to tie up Cruz. No whistle. And now you got a lot of pressure. Only a couple of seconds here to get it across the timeline. Missouri barely does. Robinson finishes, and he's got his team in front.
That's a good decision right there by Robinson. They cut it close, but good decision to just go attack.
After a scrambled sequence in the backcourt. Mitchell lob to Phillips, and Missouri has gone on a quick run to take a 3-point edge. The 7-0 burst leads to the A&M timeout. And it's Mitchell feeding his big man.
We talk about Mark Mitchell being able to make good decisions. Well, he's putting that right here on display. Throwing it up, and that's the second lob that we've seen from Phillips. Mizzou on a run.
First. Sit alone in first place as we approach the end of this conference season. The 4-time defending champs trying to make it 5 in a row. They got the big battle against LSU coming up.
How dominant has Joyce Edwards been? I mean, averaging 20 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. She's definitely been a force. I mean, it's the South Carolina team that shoots 38% from deep. And Tanaya Latson also. And John Staley has a chance to really hang another banner.
So, King, Missouri since it fell behind by its largest deficit. They trailed by 7 about 3.5 minutes ago. They go on a 12-2 run. Griffin, by the way, is fouled and he's going to the free throw line. I was just about to ask you, what has Missouri done a better job of in this second half?
Well, they're not. Well, first off, Kev, that's a bad foul by Phillips.
Yeah.
You definitely got him on the hand. Nonetheless, though, they've done a way better job of being aware of shooters, and on the dribble penetration, they are not over-helping. They're allowing their big to go contest, and they're staying home and staying in place on shooters.
While we have a minute, let's remind you, gymnastics takes over the SEC Network every Friday night this week. We start with Missouri and Kentucky at 7. And then it's a top 20 battle in Baton Rouge. Auburn, LSU follows at 8:45 Eastern. Right here on the network. Dennis Gates, he's got the wry smile on his face. He's getting a quick explanation here from Pat Adams. Gates, any chance he gets to reminisce about his time with his old boss, Leonard Hamilton?
Yeah.
He loves to do so. You know, but even just that image of he and Phillips, you know, kind of arm in arm, describes his coaching, or illustrates his coaching style. It's very much, he will hold his guys accountable, but there is deep connections between he and his players off the court as well. That resonates with a lot of guys that come through this program.
And the one word he uses is relationships.
Oh, look at this. Phillips, oh, he fumbled it. That was an easy lob attempt. So Phillips is in his head right now. Griffin thought that one was going to fall through. Instead, here comes Missouri. Griffin falls. Barrett, assertive. Score it. And the foul. T.O. Barrett is at the line when we return. The aggressive attack. Barrett has got his team back in front on the road. Gonna make sure we got that one correct. That is, you are right on, partner. 15 offensive rebounds for Missouri. That is the rebounding total for the Aggies. You've been saying it since the opening tap. The advantage that Missouri has in terms of size, length, especially against this A&M team that has always lacked essentially in that department.
And I think that's the one weakness that we see when we look at A&M is, I mean, they don't have a lot of depth in the front court, and they're not the most physical team down low. So when you have teams with size who are extremely physical and really want to punish you on the glass, they usually can have their way.
Here's Griffin inside. Griffin going right into Cruz. Clements secures it. Shot clock, remember, is at 5 now. Hill hoists it. That one was offline from the start. Missouri secures it. So the Tigers now playing with a lead on the road. They have won several road league games at Kentucky, at South Carolina a few days ago. Now the lead grows to 5. And it matches their largest advantage of the evening after the Pierce 3.
And Pierce at 6'10". I mean, because of his height, he doesn't see that contest right there by the defender. Let's go right back to it. Because he does a good job of relocating on the drive right there by Mitchell. Getting his feet set in. I mean, Hill at 6'2". And Pierce at 6'10". He's not seeing that contest.
King, this junior from Tulsa, he's been very productive today. Leading the way with 17 points. He's been efficient. Every time he has touched the ball, he has done something impactful. That's his 3rd 3.
And I think this is the best version of Pierce. I mean, when you look at what he's done this season, there's been plenty of times where he's up and down. I mean, the last 2 games, he's only averaging 10 points per game. But too many times this season, he's kind of been up and down, and it really been dependent upon if his three-point shot is falling or not. And Pierce has to be a guy at his size that he can't be solely reliant on knocking it down from deep. He has to impact the game in more ways than just shooting.
Holloway's free throws chisel it back to a three-point game. Very competitive game between Missouri and Texas A&M. Last year's battle in Columbia went down to the wire. Are we headed there again this season? Mitchell, the lefty, floated it up, couldn't hit it. Marcus Hill rises up with the right. Robinson with his eyes up, finds Mitchell in a hurry, draws the foul. Mark Mitchell goes to the line.
And I like what Missouri's doing right here. I mean, they know that A&M loves to press up on misses. So if you can get the ball to the open guard, whether that be Robinson or whether that be Barrett, get out and run and transition. And when you have been able to run, good things have happened.
They've got the only fast break points in this game. Texas A&M hasn't converted anything. Mark Mitchell, he has been one of the more impactful players in the SEC. Look at the difference, by the way. This is first half shooting compared to the second half for both of these teams. Missouri has been just as efficient, if not better. Texas A&M, meanwhile, really struggling from the field. And you have alluded to what Missouri has done defensively is attributing to that.
And that's the one thing that's tough is when you're so reliant on the three-point shot. When you make it, it works. When you miss, you have to find ways in order to generate points. And so far, A&M and their offense has been struggling because the three-point shot is not falling the way that it did in the first half.
Only got the one, that's it. Zach Clemens says the lone three-pointer for Bucky McMillan's team in this half. Now, after that Cruz foul, Ali Diba at the line. Fifth-year senior who is from Stockholm, Sweden. As this year has unfolded, he has earned himself more and more minutes just based on the effort in which he plays, just a little bit of everything.
He can score the rock.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to that game against Georgia, arguably one of his best offensive performances, 15 points. I mean, everywhere he's been a double-digit scorer. So Diba is another guy that you can insert into the lineup to be able to get points. And I think that's part of the reason why he's in the game right now. They need a guy to be able to get something going for them on that offensive side.
Diba covered Cruz tightly that time. Robinson rises from 16. Here's Pierce, back up and in. He has been so impactful today.
And that's what I mean right there. He's doing the little things. He's crashing the offensive glass, getting second chance points. I mean, he's making winning plays. And when you make winning plays, your shots tend to fall more.
He's got a game-high 19, so there is Diba who converts it at the rim. Back and forth battle on a Wednesday night in College Station. So much importance centered around the outcome of this one. Pierce is feeling it. Pierce left it short. Oh, Barrett, the steal and the basket. Look what I found.
Giving A&M a taste of their own medicine. I mean, that's typically something that we see the Aggies do, but like I said earlier, Barrett is one of the best perimeter defenders in the SEC.
Six-point lead for the Tigers A&M is searching for answers on this side. That time, Missouri just takes it away from Holloway. Oh, wow! Robinson to Pierce. All he needed was a couple of fingers to guide that one in. Tigers have their largest lead at a critical time in this second half.
It starts on defense, and they're allowing their defense to create easy offense.
Anthony Robinson saying, hey, thanks for that assist. I got 5 now. 5 on the night. Pierce has 21 points on 9 of 13 shooting. He has been efficient. He has busted out in a big way today. And Missouri is on this lengthy run. Jakari Lane, they needed that 3 in the worst way. Just their second in this half after nailing 11 in the first.
They needed that extremely bad.
So up until that 3, Missouri turned a 7-point deficit a few moments ago into an 8-point lead. So that was a 24-9 extended run. That's an offensive foul. So Mitchell shoved Lane. That's a foul on Mark Mitchell.
This was a very weird play. Because if you take a look at this, it's almost as if Hill was holding on.
Is that a little Reggie Miller
Mitchell.
action there?
Yeah, was holding on to Mitchell. And then Mitchell finally was like, get off of me. And the referee saw Mitchell's reaction. But it looked like the foul maybe should have been called on him 3 seconds earlier.
Reggie Miller used to do that, kind of grab onto the arm of the defender.
Reggie Miller was, he was before my time. I hate to say that. But
he had all the tactics.
Texas Aggie basketball.
5-point game. Seven to play. Clemens get Cruz in the air. Clemens finishes.
wow.
All right, Cruz, yeah, nicely done there. Lane, a crossover, kick it out. Griffin, not that time. Well, you see how they just swarm you. Lane ties up Robinson, and the possession arrow favors Missouri.
And Kev, that's the tough part about buckyball, because typically teams press on made shots, but A&M presses off misses. So as soon as you catch it and you secure the rebound, when you turn around, there's somebody in your grill. So if you're not ready, if you're not paying attention, they were able to get their hands on the ball and be able to get jump balls or get turnovers. But that's typically an unorthodox style that you do not see a lot.
Mark Mitchell attacks. Agee rejects it. A&M back within 5. They've got possession. Here's Lane, drive and kick. Clemens is open. Got it! Another 3! Zach Clemens with one of his biggest days of the season.
And that's the dribble penetration that worked so well in the first half. When you get to the lane and play inside-out basketball, good things happen. But let's go back to Agee, and we talk about his leadership and his veteran presence on the floor. Look at how he protects the rim right here. And once again, when you get stops, it leads to easy offense. Jakari Lane doing what he did so well in the first half, getting into the lane and kicking out to Clemens.
Zach Clemens has 16. He went for 21 earlier in league play against South Carolina. Tonight, in a little more of a consequential game, he has had the hot hand. A&M is back within 2 after the quick 8-2 run. So the Aggies, you knew they were going to respond, and they did so quickly.
And that's the thing with teams who shoot the three so well. They're never truly out of a ball game. They're always about 2 to 3 threes away from either taking the lead or cutting it down to a single possession.
Missouri seeking a consequential win, one that is significant for the resume and also would vault them a little further up the SEC standings. A&M, meanwhile, wants to remain in the SEC title race. Barrett to Stone, yes.
That's the most underrated part of Jaden Stone's game, his ability to cut. We know he's a great shooter, but he is an excellent cutter, and he shows you why right there.
The sixth-year senior from Perth, Australia. Griffin, open. Griffin knocks it in. 1-point game again. Barrett on the attack, falling down, bounces it. This is Pierce, had it knocked loose. Griffin secures it, and A&M is on the move. Griffin, shovel it. Oh, Hill, it opened up. Aggies back in front. Mitchell planning the attack. Instead, kick it over to Pierce. Trent Pierce, he has been on a rampage tonight. 23 for the junior from Tulsa. He's one shy of his career high. Missouri up by 1. Now they are trading leads as we get closer to crunch time. Agee spins on Mitchell, puts his head down. Agee, score it. A&M stepping up the pressure.
That's a grown man. That's how you finish right there. Go straight through the defender's chest. Do not shy away from contact.
High-level effort, competitiveness, and intensity in the last 5 minutes of game action. Here goes Barrett, straight into the rim for a bucket.
Once again, the physicality on the drive. Barrett is such an aggressive driver, and he drives that thing with force, and at his size, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, 17 points now for the sophomore. Agee, the captain, kick it back out. This is Lane, and the rebound is to Stone. That's a good idea from Agee.
Got to get the ball to Mitchell right here. I try to get the ball to Mitchell and let him go to work.
Coming up on the 3-minute mark, Mitchell glancing over to the sideline.
I like this right here. Go zone. Give Mizzou a different look.
Stone lets it rip. Can't hit the 3. And Rashawn Agee pulls down his 8th rebound. He's got 13 and 8 to go along with a handful of assists as well. A&M swing back in front. Griffin, not that time. Clements gets his name a new 20. Jakari Lane backing it out. 2.5 to play. A&M down 1. Lane lob it over to Clements. Clements barge it into Stone. Clements puts it in.
Good decision right there. You had the size advantage with Clements down there being guarded by Stone. Good awareness by Jakari Lane of where to go with the basketball.
They're just trading blows right now. Stone passed up the 3, drives into the paint. Jaden Stone finishes. Now it's Mizzou back in front.
That's a tough finish right there. I mean, the step through after you go to 2. Jaden Stone showing us why he's one of the most underrated scorers in the SEC.
Just saw 12 lead changes, most of that in the last 5 minutes. Clements picked up the dribble. Zach Clements having a breakout near career night. A&M by 1. Less than 90 seconds left. Dennis Gates uses the timeout. Boy, a gripping, intense, suspenseful last 3 minutes of game action have given us 7 lead changes in just the last 3 minutes.
You might as well call this the Zach Clements game. The way that he's playing. He started on the perimeter, but now he's getting it done inside. We're in for a treat, Kev.
Buckle up! King, they had fallen behind by 8 with about 8 minutes to play. They were in their biggest hole of the evening and really at a wrong time. They have responded. And Zach Clements is 1 shy of his career high. He has 20 tonight, the 5th-year senior from San Antonio. So what does Missouri do as a response? Gates called a timeout. We got 1:15 to play. They're down 1 on the road, seeking an impactful win. Mitchell's got it with 5 to shoot. Mitchell goes up with the left. AG defended him nicely. We're coming back the other way.
And you notice who they put on him. When you need to get a stop, when the moment is the biggest in the game, Rashawn Agee guarding Mitchell, the opposing team's best player. That's the trust that McMillan has in a guy like Agee.
You know, and Agee was just calling for it. They've got 8 to shoot, aiming to extend their lead. Griffin, down and out. That one was on target. He's been the best 3-point shooter tonight, but instead Missouri gets another crack at retaking a lead.
And that's not the greatest look right there by Ryland Griffin. I mean, you're settling with about 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bucky McMillan in that moment would like a better shot.
Timeout Missouri again. Dennis Gates had 1 left. He uses it here. There's 25.3 on the timer, but only 14 on the shot clock. Just about an 11-second differential. So the last timeout, we saw Missouri come out and put the ball in the hands of Mark Mitchell. They couldn't convert. They got the stop, and they get another chance. Let's reset things. Missouri out of timeouts. A&M does have 1 left. Both these teams in the double bonus. If we get a tie-up, the possession arrow favors Texas A&M.
And if I'm Missouri right now, I'm going through Trent Pierce. I mean, if you saw in that last possession, AG was the one guarding Mark Mitchell. Did a phenomenal job guarding the basketball one-on-one, not relying on the help side defense. So because of that, I wouldn't attack that matchup. I would get the ball to Pierce and allow him to try to go to work. He's had the hot hand. He's been the guy tonight. And the key thing right here, Kev, is if you're A&M, you have to guard without fouling. It's 2 shots if you foul. So you have to get this stop.
Mitchell, lob to Phillips. They run it, and it works again. Tigers by 1. McMillan's got the 1 timeout. 12 seconds to play. This is Lane. Drive it, kick it. Griffin, no. AG got his hands on it. Ball still free. 4 seconds, and McMillan might have been trying to call the timeout. I believe that's what Dennis Gates is trying to get his guys back to their sideline. Well, I would have figured once AG got his hands on it, they were going to try to call the timeout. I believe they've awarded the timeout to A&M. So they have. The clock right now says 3.9. So Griffin got the look, he missed it, and then AG and the Aggies went to work on the glass to get 1 more shot.
And let's take a look at this draw, because this is a beautiful back screen right here by Pierce. You see where Pierce is. Pierce is going to come up and set this back screen on Clements, which now they're going to switch this. And when you switch this, you now have a 7-foot Phillips matched up with Ryland Griffin. And when you throw the ball to the rim, there's nothing that Griffin can do. You put him in a very bad spot. Take a look. And Mark Mitchell delivers this pass beautifully. And Griffin ends up on the wrong side of a poster. Good draw up out of a timeout by Dennis Gates.
That's the second time tonight we've seen the Mitchell to Phillips lob. How many assists tonight for Mitchell? He's got 8.
And that's the mark of a great player.
Yeah.
How do you impact the game when you aren't scoring? I mean, we see that Mitchell is a guy that averages 18 per game. And he hasn't had his best offensive performance in terms of scoring the ball, but he's still finding ways to make an impact and allowing and getting his team to get a win, or helping his team to get a win. And that's the mark of a great player, and that shows growth and maturity in your best player.
If Mark Mitchell, bona fide all-conference selection this year, the captain, and the basket, of course, for Phillips. Did that duo just put Missouri in front for good? They need one more stop. So our officials wind up putting 0.2 of a second back on the clock. You see it reads 4.1 right now. This is it. No more timeouts. And so the Aggies, they've got one last look. What do the Aggies do with limited time? A chance to win.
Well, you have so many shooters on the floor that they're going to do a really good job of moving without the basketball. So as a result, you'll see down screens, you'll probably see pin downs or back screens, or maybe a slip out. But they do such a good job moving at the basketball that they're going to try to confuse the defense, because Missouri is a team that likes to switch. So pay attention to the slips, pay attention to all the off-ball movement.
Here we go. Griffin over to Agee with 2. Agee spins, puts it up, blocked. Game over. Missouri with the late basket to go in front, and they get it done in crunch time. A significant road win for the Tigers. And they're now 7-4 in league play. They creep further up the SEC standings.
I did not have that on my bingo card. A Rashawn Agee ISO for the game. This is just good defense right there by Phillips. Not bringing your hands down, keeping them up. I did not expect them to come out with an ISO. I really don't think that's what McMillan wanted right there in that moment.
Never really a chance. Phillips, his lone block, the most impactful one, as time ticks off. And so these Tigers, they trailed for much of the game, especially in the first. They were down by 7 around the midway mark of this half. Then they went on that extended run, went ahead, and boy, after an extremely entertaining final, 5 minutes where we just traded baskets back and forth, they get the last laugh.
That was an amazing game, and we told you it was going to be competitive, and it definitely was.
Trent Pierce finished with 23. Barrett had 17. Phillips, Stone, Mitchell, Cruz, they all were impactful. Well-earned win for Missouri. So that does it for us. For King McClure and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald saying so long from College Station. Let's go to the studio.